Hello everyone, it's Suey here, and this is a subject that I've been wanting to talk about for a long time. I've been avoiding it because I thought maybe I would gather my thoughts and appear to be prepared for some sort of a real debate here. I decided if I wait for that, this video is never going to happen, and might as well just wing it, right? What I'm talking about is reading YA books. This is a subject that I've been passionate about ever since my blogging days, back, 15 years ago, when I first started understanding that there was sort of a stigma with older people reading YA books. At that time, it started becoming kind of more popular. I mean, it was kind of during, the Twilight phase and the Hunger Games phase, even the Harry Potter phase, and probably Divergent and the other YA books that were real popular with kind of everyone, and the movies were being made. And so we kind of went through this phase where the stigma wasn't so bad. Everybody was reading them, and there was tons of amazing YA books being written. And then all of a sudden, it kind of phased out. And people were like, why are you reading YA books if you're an old person? YA books are for the YA people, for the teens and the young adults. And so if you're 30 or more, then you shouldn't be reading YA books. This is what I was starting to hear. And I mostly ignore it because to me, that is ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. But lately, I feel like I'm seeing it more and more again here on BookTube, where people are acting like you don't read YA if you're old. That's just not, you read adult books when you're old and you read YA when you're young. Which to that, as you can probably guess, I say, whatever. Forget that. I did look up what other people have said about this, kind of, a little bit one day. I typed in and researched just a teeny bit to see if anybody else had talked about this. And I did watch a video that made me think, and I do agree with, they said YA is supposed to be marketed towards teenagers, but because of the trend of it being more popular back in the day when I was talking about, it started changing and was being actually marketed towards adults, which I do agree is not what we should be doing. We should still be marketing towards the kids. And that YA books are changing, and they don't seem very YA-ish anymore. And the line between adult and YA is very fadey, which I find funny if the line is faint. But then there's a lot of people who are poo-pooing YA books and looking down on them, but that line is so faint, believe me. Anyway, in my opinion, YA books are some of the very best books out there because they are taking a story and a subject matter and they are making it more palatable to digest, maybe. Maybe sometimes they are what's the word I want? It's more concise, not beating around the bush, maybe maybe adult books do, or, taking forever to say something, or I don't know. I don't know what I'm trying to say. They just can make it easier to handle whatever subject, whatever story. I just wanted to come on and say that I really, truly love YA books. I do think they're some of the best books out there. I don't think I'm ever going to say, okay, I'm done with my YA phase and I'm on to adult books now. I'm just going to read whatever I feel like reading. Adult, YA, middle grade, whatever it is. Supporting certain authors and loving certain series and whatever. I don't care how old I am. I will always love YA books. And I think for me, the biggest reason for that is I love how the characters in YA books are often times experiencing things for the first time, experiencing things that are new to them, which is really fun to read and to remember. They're nostalgic, right? Characters are just more fun to me. I don't know. I feel like I've truly never really grown up. I feel 17 in my mind. I've always felt like I kind of stayed there for some reason. So maybe that's another thing, just personally for me, that I still feel like I can relate to them no matter how old I get. Some people say that they can't relate to YA books when they get older. Some people say they can't handle the angst. Some YA books have it, some don't. It's not a given that a YA book has angst. It's the same with adult books. Some have it, some don't, right? And YA books are not any cleaner than adult books at all anymore. That's probably one of the things somebody was saying, how they're marketed towards adults these days, because they are not cleaner necessarily, as far as like language and content and stuff like that. Cleaner is a word that I have seen used to describe that, but I don't know if it's very politically correct anymore. I have no idea what people use to describe that anymore. But there are also YA books that are cleaner and fluffier and more lighthearted, which is another reason why I love them, because sometimes I really, 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 really need that in my life. And sometimes they are easier to read. But that being said, I also don't think that YA books are lesser than adult books. And I can go and show you on my shelf downstairs, which I think I will do another video if I can keep my up for this booktubing thing. It's really hard right now. But if I feel like I can do it, I will go downstairs someday in my nice big library and pull out some YA books that are kind of deep and really thought-provoking, not your fluffy ones. Because I want to prove the point, I guess, that just because it's YA does not mean it's lesser than an adult book. You know what I mean? Am I making sense? This is why I was kind of nervous about this video, because I felt like I'd be all over the place. But I knew, like I said, if I tried to organize my thoughts, I would probably never do it. I did a little poll about a while back, and I felt like most people, even if they're older, will say that they read it, but maybe not all the time, but sometimes, so they don't rule it out entirely. I do feel like there's a small percentage of people that just say, I'm an adult, I won't read YA, which makes me sad, because you really are truly missing out on some of the best books ever. But for the most part, I think everyone's pretty open-minded about it. So let me know if that's how you feel, if you think that you are pretty much open-minded about it, and that you don't look down on YA reading, and that you don't say that you can't be an old person, old person, and still love reading YA. Let's talk about it. Thanks for watching, and until next time, happy reading!